Welcome to another episode of The Daily Practice. The window is open, the request lines are open, the hourglass is flipped, and the sand is falling. Let's get to work. Here he is, our troubadour, Nathan Moore.
Hey, welcome to practice. Pretty exciting night here. You were the made-of-paper boy, always in the rain. And with brilliant running ink, your shoes were always stained. You played the cuckoo bird, you thought to hide the pain. But we all hung on every word, and in a way you kept us sane. Whatever's clever, man, you left me far behind. Like the tortoise and the hare, I've been taking my time. But now you're already there, across the finish line, probably singing one to Jesus, trying to score some wine. Now no one will know inside you had a star, and I hope I go wherever you are. The experience of innocence, the screaming blades of grass, the temptation of madness in your songs you'd always ask, is this my only choice? With that sky-crashing voice as your fingers led on, there was more to the song. You said we wouldn't understand even when we did, even if we were a little wiser when you were just a little kid. Still you were right when you said the things you said. The best is unknowable, the mystery is dead. Now no one will know inside you had a star, and I hope I go wherever you are. I remember looking for you in Eureka, California, wondering if you had hopped a bus or just curled up somewhere. And you lied right where I found you. You said hours didn't pass by. You said you didn't disappear. You said I didn't need to cry. Then you apologized beneath the Portland dust, pulled me aside and asked me for my trust. And I looked you in the eye, and I looked at you with love. That was the last time we spoke, man. Things were looking up. Now no one will know inside you had a star, and I hope I go yeah, no one will know inside you had a star, and I hope I go wherever you are. Welcome to the show, everybody. I do have a little bit of a bug, so I'll be a little low energy, but I'm also freaking out and very excited, so there's that energy as well, so we'll be fine. I'm dying to share this with you. Buddy Jason Clarke has recently opened a small little music shop downtown. He's only open from like 2 to 5 on Sundays at the moment. Marigold Music, operating out of an old school building right downtown in Stanton. And he's got a bunch of instruments and pedals and stuff in there. And and he posted this guitar on Facebook, and I was like, oh man, all right, I'll come Sunday and look at it. And this was a couple of weeks ago, and I went in and I played it, and I loved it, but I just didn't know. I didn't have my other guitar. I couldn't decide what was going on. And so then I went back and I played it again. And then Lex and I walked down yesterday. And this time I brought my harmonica. I brought a capo. I wanted to put it through its paces a little bit. And the first thing I did, my buddy Pete was down there too, was I put a capo. I tuned it up, played the A capo to it, then put a capo on the second fret and played A in that position, and the harmonica was still in tune with it. And Pete was like, you should have seen the expression on your face. Like that alone tells me you should get this guitar, just the expression on my face. But then he was also laughing that I didn't even put it to the real test, because I only put the capo on the second fret, and that's not that far from natural. So it also was telling of what I've been dealing with my other guitar. The intonation is just that bad that even on the second fret, the the whole thing had to be retuned to be in tune. But then I went all the way up here and capoed right here and started playing a E basically and cross harping on the A, and it was perfectly in tune. I'm telling you folks, I can put a capo on this guitar and just start playing. I don't have to retune the whole guitar just to play in a capo position. That alone is worth listen to that. I move the capo all the way up here, which is crazy talk compared with what I've been living with for the last year or so. For every practice that we've done, I've been playing a really poorly intonated guitar and blaming myself for the bad tuning. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Didn't have to retune it all. It's just crazy to me what I've been dealing with. It's like you know me. I have to see both sides of it. I'm half like so excited to realize that I don't know, that maybe I'll own this guitar for one, but for two, that I know now, and I'm never going back. And the guitars I do already own are definitely going to the luthier and getting some serious TLC so they play right. And the other side of the coin is like, oh my God, you're such an idiot. How could you have been playing that guitar for so long on YouTube 5 nights a week? It's complete. It's amateur hour. Holy moly. But meanwhile, back to this little baby. This is a Martin D18, I believe is what they call it. I've never been so good with numbers, but I have a feeling I'm about to get better at that. It's a Martin D18, a 2021. There is a crack down. Some of you savvy music nerds might have noticed there's a little bit of a crack, but it has been repaired by a wonderful local luthier named Danny Dolinger. And he put a little, it looks like a bow tie with little spikes on either end, and it goes up and holds the two sides together, and I guess it's glued into place as well. He stands by the repair. He says if it ever gives me any trouble, he'll fix it, but he does not think it will ever give me a problem. Now I've never shopped for a guitar. I've never I've never bought myself a nice guitar. The only guitar I ever bought was like 2 years ago. This one that I use in open tuning and play slide on, just because it was $100 and it sounded cool. So I was like, yeah, what the hell? But for the most part, every guitar I've ever owned, the one I've been playing every night here on the practice was the one I won at Telluride Troubadour contest in like 2007, 8, 9, somewhere in there. And the guitar I played before that was called a Larrivee. That was given to me by Blind James, a great photographer in Santa Fe, New Mexico. So every guitar was either a gift or I won it, or some kind of serendipity of the road and traveling brought it to me. I never went shopping for one. I never had to make this kind of a decision. But also, like, I never quite knew what I was missing. I never knew what I was missing. Every now and again, I would pick up a friend's guitar and I'd be like, "Ooh, I better stop playing that. I'm going to start questioning everything." Now, the funny thing is, this one called me. I found it. I went down. He has about 10 other guitars in the shop. And I played every single guitar in there, and every single one of them, I came running back to this one and immediately started sounding like me. And then I would grab another one and be like, and I'd be like, well, maybe it's good for a song or two, but definitely not the whole thing. But then I would get back on this one and I'd be like, even the whole room seemed to light up a little bit, like, because I was just sort of freaking out. And my fingers were dancing all up and down it. So far, it seems like it works really well for my finger picking style. Seems to work good with the strumming. So let's put it through the paces. Let's start going through your requests, and we'll just see how she does. Talk to me. Kether's been teasing me because Jason, he was like, I recommend you going down to Richmond and going to one of the big music stores and comparing this one to some other D18s and seeing what you think. But then, that's sort of a can of worms. And at one point, Kether was like, that's like meeting a woman and thinking, oh my God, she might be the one. This falling quick and thinking this might be the one, and your first impulse is, well, I better shop around. I better go try out a bunch of different ones before I make this decision. It's a good analogy. So I maybe should just let the romance of like it found me be the thing. My one, I do have one, before I start playing, my one, not reservation necessarily, but thought is I'm a pretty distinctive individual, and it would be fun to have a really distinctive looking guitar. One that you see and immediately go, oh, that's Nathan Moore right there. I know that guitar anywhere. I've always loved that. You see Willie's guitar, that's Willie's guitar. And I saw some in the store when I looked at the shop in Richmond. They have a bunch of Martins, a lot of different guitars, but some of them look amazing. You're just like, oh my God, what is that one? So there is that. This is a little bit of a generic vibe. But then again, it's generic in the sense that you see old pictures of Neil Young playing it, old pictures of Bob Dylan playing it, old pictures of Paul Simon playing it, old pictures of John Prine. All kinds of people played a Martin. And so I'd be in good company, even though I wouldn't stick out. Jonas says, I'm curious if you compared with OO or OM shaped guitars to see if there's a notable difference in feel and sound versus the Dreadnought. I haven't, well, like I say, I played every one in Jason's shop. And his shop is just sort of like, he hopes it will someday be a music store, but at the moment it's not. It's a classroom in an old school building, and he opens from 2 to 5 on Sundays. Pretty awesome. Marigold Music, downtown Stanton. Check it out. But so I compared all those, but no, I haven't. We don't really have any other music stores, so all that would involve me getting in a car and going to a city somewhere, and all that could be very overwhelming for me. I can get confused really easy. I can get very overwhelmed really easy. I can contemplate too many possibilities, what ifs. And like Kether said, it might end up making things worse. I might be less sure of anything after a thing like that. So I guess the short answer is no, I haven't. I don't even know what you're talking about, if I'm being honest. Is this a Dreadnought? Jonas says, I like my dreadnought for certain situations and types of music, but I find myself gravitating a whole lot more to smaller body guitars for fingerpicking and folk type stuff. Yeah, I don't know anything about it. I'm terrible with numbers and I wish I knew what you were talking about. But I guess my Larrivee is, what's this? I don't know. I don't even know what I have, much less what I don't. Oh, that's a piano song, Clutch. Or do you want me to try it on this baby? Oh, here we go. There's a great, helpful little aid. Here, I might share this with the world. Every now and again, we are an educational program here. Here's the picture difference. Dreadnought. An ohm. That one looks like a dreadnought with a cutaway and a crazy ass saddle. I do like small body guitars, I gotta say. So that's a single, double, or triple O Parlor. Yeah, I'm more familiar with the Parlor name. Yep, it's intriguing. It's intriguing. All right, let me see what your requests are. Let's go ahead and dive in. Keep talking though. All right, Butcher Girl, Far Fire. Thank you. This doesn't have a pickup in it, so no boomerang at the moment. No, these are some good putting it through the paces. Blue Spirits is a banjo song. Sweet Things is I don't know what kind of song that is. There it goes, a piano song. I'm up for anything. But mostly want to put this thing through its paces. It is a big decision. They aren't cheap. But such an exciting decision too, because just in a little bit, I've had it since yesterday, playing it around the house. I mean, the songs just got way simpler. I feel like that destination I've had my eyes on for a while got significantly closer just with this knowledge. I don't know how to describe it, but it's way easier to play a lot of the things I struggle with on my other guitars on this guy. All right, Butcher Girl. The city's swept under a carpet of lights. The boys in the band are drained into sight. There's a sigh in the sidewalk as the opens close. One man's garbage is a couple of warm rolls. I feel like a spring flower surprised by the cold. Come on too strong, come on too bold. I chase my own, now the tale is told. But don't roll the sad ending, there's so much to go. I'll be a good time gambler, a guitar picker, perfect stranger, a lonely trickster. Storefront windows, I walk by myself. I could float down the gutter to the ne'er-do-well. I could go down to the playhouse where the lovers meet, see who sits alone and take a seat. Well, I felt tell myself, I'll flip a coin to choose. Heads you win, tails I lose. The tails I hop the gutter, 'cause the baby I need, she's down in the well. To be. guitar picker. Perfect stranger. A lonely trickster. Them that do, how many deserve to be whining and dining and holding her? Go ahead, let my love fall flat and seem dumb. I need a reason to go, a reason to run. I need a song to sing, I need a tune to strum. I face my home in the east as I hold out my thumb. I'll be a good time gambler, a guitar picker, perfect stranger, a lonely trickster. Yeah, haven't played that in the original position in a long time. Perfect request. Thank you. You know, it's funny, Jonah says, if I had it all to do over again, I would have gotten this one instead. And it's a link to an Eastman guitar. And Jason brought an Eastman guitar to his shop specifically for me to try because he'd seen me loving this one. He's like, I got one I really think you might like. And he pulled it out, and I sat this one down, and I played the Eastman for a minute, and I was like, and then I picked this one back up, and it was like, it was like so obvious. This guy pounced every guitar in there. It's so easy when I get into isolation just playing this one, but if I pick up any of these guitars in here and play it back to back to this one, you'd be like, oh. But on the other hand, some other guitar out there might do that to this one. I just don't know. You'll never know. I'll never know. I hope I'll never know. Maybe I'll know. I don't know. Who knows? All right, this will be a fun one. I haven't tried the partial capo yet on here. Far Fire is the next request. I've been doing that with a partial capo down here. I just can't get over the fact that I can put a capo on and not spend the next 3 minutes tuning my guitar. My YouTube show just got infinitely better. There was way too much tuning happening for the last year, and bless your souls and your patience. Amazing. Gasping for air. For a moment I thought I might just die right there. But I remembered in my collar I placed a paper clip. I could pick these handcuffs and give these guys the slip. Ooh, over the mountain, I could sneak away, live to fight another day. Have guitar, we'll travel, got a car filled with gasoline. We could go far or fire, and all points in between. Somebody spanked me, somebody thanked me, and looked down and I was standing on the crybaby's blankie. And I've been walking through woods, I've been mining for coal, sort of like my shoes with the dirt on their soles. Have guitar, we'll travel, got a car filled with gasoline. We could go far or fire, and all points in between. Between death and birth, in between the lines between the moon and Middle Earth, with my head in the clouds, I was dragging my feet. I knew I couldn't stay, but I didn't want to leave. Have guitar, we'll travel, got a car filled with gasoline. Could go far or fire, points in between. We could go far or fire, and all points in between. So check it out. Even after that banger, banging on it, just taking a chance here, capoing in a random place. It is a D18, Jenna. Yep. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that right. I doubt myself every time I say it. The 18 is definitely right. D, I'm pretty sure it's a D. You know what, though? I can tell you, hold on. Oh, yeah, D18 for sure. That's what it says in there. Woo. There's some sexy print in there. All right, what was next? Let's see. I might have to tune it up again a little bit. I mean, from time to time, because we still care. We still care. Well, Thank You Life and Far Fire are almost the same song. Maybe I should put something in between them here. Let's try Down to the Wire, see what happens. I'm curious about this. I haven't dropped this thing down to a C yet, that's for sure. don't see how banging on all those strings could make it all higher. I'm tuning it down. Did I change the setting on this tuner somehow? Oh, I think... Died at 29 at the end of a bottle. So in so few years he wrote all those songs. Many might say that's not how you ought to live your life, but damn those songs. And watching the fire still burn, when will I set me on fire? This doesn't have to go down to the wire. Doesn't have to go down. Dropping down to a C might be a lot to ask, but it can do it, I'm pretty sure. I want to give it a fair shake here. I'm a little too excited, going a little fast here. Remember the practice. I get to be too excited from time to time, though, by golly. She died at 33, OD'd in a hotel, that famous hotel where genius would hang. She was always free, now she always will be. Was anyone freer than when she sang? And watching the fire still burn, when will I ever learn? That don't mean I have to get higher. That don't have to set me on fire. This doesn't have to go down to the wire. Doesn't have to go down. Tell me what to do there. It can't do that. Can't do that for me. He died at 75, always a fighter, screaming at demons like a back alley cat. He teased the reaper, I dare you to try it. I'll shave with your scythe, wipe my face with your hat. And watching the fire still burn, when will I ever learn? That don't mean I have to get higher. That don't have to set me on fire. This doesn't have to go down to the wire. Doesn't have to go down. Yeah, it's not going to play that part for me. Yeah, that low C. All right, now I'm confused again. Maybe it's like a basement curse. Maybe it's that capo. When I put the capo on for Down to the Wire, every string was a little high. And that's the kind of stuff I'm used to. Confusing. Oh, thanks, Butterfly. Yeah. Hit the like button. Show me some love. All right, what was next? Wandering Aengus. Can't remember what key I like doing that in, but I'm gonna go for D. To the hazelwood, 'cause the fire was in my head. I cut and peeled a hazel wand and tied a berry to a thread. And when oh man, can't remember how I play that song. To the hazelwood, 'cause the fire was in my head. I cut and peeled a hazel wand and tied a berry to a thread. And when white moths were on the wing and moth-like stars were flickering out, I dropped the berry in a stream and caught a little silver trout. Aye, aye, aye. Aye, aye, aye. Swear. When I had laid it on the floor and went to blow the fire aflame, I heard something rustling on the floor. Someone called me by my name. It had become a glimmering girl with apple blossom in her hair. Called me by my name and ran and faded through the brightening air. Aye, aye, aye. Aye, aye, aye. Swear. I've grown old with wandering through hollow lands and hilly lands. I will find out where she has gone and kiss her lips and take her hand and walk among long dappled grass and pluck till times are done. The silver apples of the moon, the golden apples of the sun. Aye, aye, aye. Aye, aye, aye. Aye, aye, aye. Aye, aye, aye. Aye. Ah. All right, I'm going to call it the request list fresh here. Give it to me, Gus. Oh, all kinds of stuff. All right, Dustin, here you go. Joshua, welcome to the show. When a woman cuts your hair, she ties a little ribbon there. And the little ribbon that she ties, it's invisible to other eyes, but you can always feel it there. When a woman cuts your hair, and when a woman calls your name, it never again quite sounds the same. And all through your running years, it rings that way in your ears, and you want to hear it again and again. When a woman touches you, now then there's nothing you can do. That part of you has been told, it's been touched and turned to gold. Even if you didn't want it to, when a woman touches you, woman hides her eyes, and something deep inside you dies. Gets there like a knife. Apologize, apologize. No starvation so denied. It's when a woman. Woo. This is my magic elixir tea. It's called Get the F Over It tea. Okay. So we do have the week to decide, so we don't have to make the decision tonight, but I am curious already what you think. I'm gonna go in here and we'll do this each night that I do this. I'm not exactly sure when the clock's gonna run out, but I think I got it till he's open again next Sunday. We'll see. But till then I'll do this every night. Where's the slash? I can't see anything. Slash poll. All right, question. Is this the one? Go ahead and just go with your gut. No pressure. We'll say, how do I add choices? Yes. How do I add another choice? Oh, I don't know how to add another choice. Description. Put a description on the poll. Oh my God, can you help me, Jonah? What am I texting for? Are you in here? Choices. I should know this by now. God, I'm really eating the clock away for no good reason here right now. Can someone make a poll for me? Or maybe I just put a space between them. Oh no, that didn't work. Ugh. Sorry, I don't actually know how to do that. There's just one choice. Thank you so much. Stick around after the practice if you can. Just a few more minutes. Tell me how the hell you did that. Ooh, Ziggy has an interesting call. I haven't done that song in a long time. I don't think that's been a part of the practice. It's probably in the boat, but we never even talked about it. It's always when I think I'm going nowhere, I find myself at home like I never knew. Always when I find someone that makes me wonder, when I fall in love, will it be with you? It's not always in my wallet, it's not always in my hair, but it's always morning in New Orleans somewhere. My last car spilled on the sidewalk. Now I'm walking another line. Last thing I want right now is more music. Checkpoint Charlie's okay, I'm fine. And then some brilliant music fills the air. Oh, it's always morning in New Orleans somewhere. I'm staying halfway now between the madhouse and the zoo. I'm awake with one eye closed to the things in me I see in you. It's almost like I've died and gone there. It's always morning in New Orleans. It's always morning in New Orleans. It's always morning in New Orleans somewhere. Still ringing, still ringing. But it won't ring as long as the Shanti, because from my research, the different kind of wood that doesn't have as much sustain, which might be really a great thing. You know, a lot of what I'm looking for is my sound. It's not just about how the guitar sounds. It's about how this guitar is part of. Is it my sound? How does it work with my voice? Does it create frequencies that make my voice do weird things to be heard? All that stuff can be very subtle, but like, you know, the frequencies coming out of that and how it relates to the frequencies of my voice, and if it's competing or complementary. All these things are part of the things that have been factored in. Now, I wish we had 50 guitars here, one after another, and we could just stay up all night and play them one after the other. But that's not happening. So I'm definitely going to, when I'm done here, going to go back and read through all the chats, see what observations y'all had. And I think I was hitting it a little bit too hard because I was excited, way different than when I'm just... God, my light is really reflected more in this one. I never really noticed that with my Shanti. It had to have been doing that, though, hadn't it? Ooh, I can line it up with the sound hole. And oh, my goodness. Oh. That's magic. All right, I'll stop that. Yeah, I think it's down here. Hold on a second. Do any of my heroes play the guitar you're talking about, Jonah? Do you have a little list of songwriters that use the parlor guitars? All right, how about we just do a little freight train on... Here's the Shanti. you're going to laugh. It's going to be like, oh my God, is that a Fisher Price? It's so easy to get lost in the vacuum. Granted, probably older strings. Freight train on the new guy. What's your name? What's your name? It's so fun. There's so many things. Like I was playing Freedom Feeling earlier in the living room, and this part has never sounded as nice. Try one in each hand. That's 20. We don't get there till 2030, I think. Till we level up that far. First he didn't know, and he didn't know that he didn't know. Then he didn't know, but he knew that he didn't know. Later he knew, but he didn't know that he knew. At last he knew, and he knew that he knew. He was not alone. Put that on my tombstone. Well, he rode every road, and he rode down the river, and sang every song that he sung for the lovers that leapt from the ledge. Hung up in the night, he took it and shook it as he looked for the light. They couldn't be shown. Put that on my tombstone. Somebody laughed, he'd second the motion, and though he defied it, believed deep in the notion that to write the line where the sky meets the ocean, you gotta breathe in the air like it's some kind of potion. Each breath a wild wind blowing. Yeah, put that on my tombstone. fought the good fight and he fled without grieving. In small-minded rooms he said, I believe I'll be leaving. And he hung his hat where the woman he loved knew how to take it. Enough is enough. He was not unknown. Put that on my tombstone. Well, I hope I pushed through this bug. I got enough to give you some kind of fair version of what the chemistry between me and this guitar might sound like. It is got a little confused with that down to the wire tuning thing, but it hadn't come back. I don't know what I did there. That was interesting. Gosh, I really didn't play with a pick very much either, which is a little bit weird. I was all on such a yarn with the pick. Definitely know that this thing loves a pick. It's what all the bluegrass players play. Well, thank goodness we don't have to make this decision tonight. But I'm going to sign off now and hop on to Discord. And any questions, any fresh thoughts, I'm going to look at the results of the poll and read some of y'all's observations before I do my time stamping work. But doesn't have a name yet. But it will be co-starring again tomorrow night. So join us. I'll be back the same time, midnight sharp. You can set your sundial to me. And what this anonymous, interesting. Oh, I feel like we're just scratching the surface. It still is. What a beautiful can of worms. Be silly. Be honest. Always trust your cape. Bye.